Hello and welcome to a new video. So it's been a little while, I know, a lot's kind of happened. You're probably wondering what the deal with the inconsistent upload schedule is, and I'll talk about that a little later maybe, but for now I wanted to just kind of get straight into things. And do that we shall. Basically, the reason for this video is I've seen an image going around Twitter recently, and it's become pretty popular for Vanguard people to just like reply to the prompts. Basically, it's basically a Q&A video is what I'm doing, but the questions will be on the prompts that you probably recognize if you've been interacting with Vanguard Twitter at all. So let's just, without further ado, I accidentally opened the image twice. Let's get to it then. So here we go. For every heart, I'll answer a question. Well, this is a video, so it would take a little while to wait for me to gain enough hearts. Alright, let's see. Age. This seems like a bit of a weird one, because unlike the rest of them, this has basically nothing to do with Vanguard. Now, I'm assuming the reason it's asking, and yes, I will give my age in a second, don't worry. I'm guessing the reason is so you have a frame of reference. So when I say like what my favorite era of Vanguard is, and what my favorite Vanguard anime is, and all that other stuff, and when I got into it, you kind of have a frame of reference as to like how my age affects that stuff. So I'm assuming that's the reason they ask for your age, but it does seem a little out of nowhere. So age 24, that's pretty old actually. I had my birthday a few days ago on November 8th, and I've definitely hit that point where I don't look forward to birthdays anymore, and that's kind of sad. I just kind of felt nothing when this one came and gone. So yeah, hey, if any like teenagers or anything watching this, you got that to look forward to. The crushing existential dread of not enjoying birthdays anymore. How and when did you find out about Vanguard? Okay, this one's a pretty entertaining story. I've told it a couple times throughout the channel, but I've never made like a dedicated video or anything about it, so this is a good a time as any to kind of go through it. So, I kind of grew up the Yu-Gi-Oh kid, you know, like, when I was going to school, like, you know, around like 12 years oldish to around, you know, from that point on, basically, I got really into Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously, I was super into Yu-Gi-Oh! Before that point. As a little kid, I'd watch Duel Monsters, the English dub, on TV, and collect cards here and there. But, of course, you know, when you're really young, you don't really, you know, you kind of get out of it again. But then, around 2011-ish, I want to say, I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. That was right when Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal was beginning to air. And so Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, I was really fascinated in it because I was like, oh, I'm kind of getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. And this brand new series that only has like 1 or 2 episodes out at this point looks really cool and interesting. And so that was the first anime I watched in Japanese as it was airing. I'd seen a couple, like, you know, subtitled animes before that point, but that was the first one I'd, like, kind of actively kept with as it was airing, and that continued, you know, that continued as, like, Arc 5 Ed and everything. At some point, I can't exactly pinpoint it, I want to say around 2013-ish. Some of my friends and just people online knew that I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! And were like, hey, here's this other card game thing, you should watch it. It's on YouTube. And it was Cardfight Vanguard, of course. And I went on the first episode and I skimmed through it and went, huh, that's really interesting. I like the fact that they play the game on like the tables instead of using dual discs and all that other stuff. And I added it to my watch later playlist, which means that I didn't actually watch it. I just skimmed through it, added it to my watch later, and then just kind of forgot about it. Now, this is kind of a story that's a little bit too in-depth, but I guess this is why you come here, right? I don't know how long this video is going to be. Hopefully not very long. But basically, so I went to this thing called sixth form, which if you're American, you probably don't know what it is. But basically, when you finish school, you kind of can do this optional, like, 2 years of school as like a substitution, I guess, for like something like college or university. And so I basically kept going to the school for an extra couple years. And the thing is with sixth form, at least at the time anyway, was that if you went, you know, you'd kind of pick a couple of subjects you'd really want to specialize in. So this would have been around 2014-ish that I entered sixth form. which means I would have been around 17, I want to say. Maybe 16, 17, I don't know how the ages line up. But yeah, so they give you a bit more freedom is basically what I'm saying. Is you don't really have like a uniform, because in the UK we have uniforms. But if you got to stay those extra 2 years, basically as a way of rewarding you for being older and choosing to stay, you would get a lot more freedom. And so what would happen is we wouldn't have to wear uniforms. They would basically just kind of give us coursework that we could sort of do at our own pace. And most importantly for this story, you didn't have that many lessons. You'd kind of come in for a couple of lessons and you'd kind of just hang around the school, or even outside of the school, just doing stuff with friends for the rest of the day, which was a large, substantial amount of times. So what did I do during this time? Well, of course, I argued on anime forums and watched anime. Me and my friends, we just argued non-stop all day, every day on anime forums. I'm not joking, this is real. And we watched anime. We went on that good old Kiss anime. Then, our teachers got a bit smart. And they realized that that was what we were doing, and so they went in and used like the school like computer system to kind of like block like anime websites, basically. Like, so it was, you just weren't able to go on stuff like Kiss Anime anymore. So that kind of put a dent into our plans. So, frustratingly bored, this was around 2015 by this point, frustratingly bored with a craving to watch anime in my spare time, I found a loophole, and the loophole was the words from 2013-ish that echoed in my brain. And that was when someone told me, hey, there's this card game anime you should watch. It's on YouTube. And I realized, oh, they may have blocked anime websites, but they haven't blocked YouTube. And that's when I found out about Vanguard. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. See you later. Alright. That was a pretty long one. Hopefully the rest of them won't be quite as long, because I don't want to be here forever. So, first Vanguard clan. Funnily enough, it's actually Link Joker. Not much really to add there. I played Deletus for a little bit. This was during the V-Series era. Basically just because it was the deck I had access to. At that point, when you were first kind of getting into it, yes, I got into the anime way sooner than I got into the card game. Mainly because at that point in your life, you don't have very much money, you don't have anyone to really play with, so I never really bothered with the card game at first, but I did buy some decks and stuff during the V-Series era, and I've been kind of getting into it more and more, even as overdress has progressed, as I'm sure we'll get into later. So yeah, first clan, Link Joker. Again though, that's the thing, is some people believe in the idea of like, oh, you have a lot of sentimental value in everything, and nostalgia for your first clan. But honestly, for me, I mean, Link Joker's cool and all, don't get me wrong, but I definitely think at that phase, especially the way I was doing it, you just kind of pick a random deck until you have more of a feel for what it is you actually like. And because of that, I don't really have a particular attachment to Link Joker. It's not the deck I main. I'm sure we'll get into the decks I main in a little bit. So, best Vanguard boy. Ooh, Danji. Easy. There we go. Literally did an entire, like, 30-minute Vanguard overdress video essay where I cover that in a lot of thorough detail. Danji. Easy. Next question. I don't know if it's asking about the anime or if it's asking about the cards, but if it's asking about the anime, it's Danji. I'm sure it's up to interpretation, right? You can answer whatever you want. Best Vanguard girl. Say it after me. Reka Tatsunagi. There we go. Not even gonna fucking elaborate on it. Number 6. Favorite clan. Why? Angel Feather. I mean, I guess that's the idea, right? If you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll be familiar with a lot of these answers. It's Angel Feather. I've mentioned this a few times. Angel Feather is the best clan because it's the most aesthetically pleasing looking one. I just love the artwork and the designs. I think it gets a good balance of everything. You've got the fantastical elements of them being angels, but it's also fairly tasteful, unlike other clans that are a bit more fan servicey. Just very nice and clean looking artwork and nice and varied designs. I like it a lot. I like the lore and the world building behind the clan. I like the idea that they're a somewhat pacifist clan that focus on healing the others. And of course, in terms of the gameplay, I always love the new and creative ways they find of utilizing taking cards out of your drop zone. I love that stuff. It's very fun, and to keep track of and everything. Yeah, they're not the most overpowered clan all of the time, I get that, but they're a lot of fun. Least favorite clan, why? Do I even answer this one? Because do I want to start wars? I'm just gonna say Bermuda Triangle and move on. I refuse to elaborate. Retro, G, Premium, or Standard? Honestly, I'm a Standard bitch. And not because I particularly love overdress and how it plays. More so that whenever I'm in a card game, I just like sticking with Standard. Don't get me wrong, this isn't me taking the piss out of Premium or anything. Far from it. I'd love to play some games of Premium later when I get the chance. It's more just, that's just kind of the person I am, you know? I just kind of like sticking to, I guess, quote-unquote, the intended experience, if you know what I mean. Like the experience that bushiroad clearly want you to play. I know people are going to say, well, they want you to play Premium too. Yeah, I know, but like, it's the experience they want newcomers to play, I guess, just to say that. I like Standard. I think Standard is the format that should get the most focus in general among every card game, and it should be the most accessible. So because of that, I usually just always stick with Standard, to be honest. Your Vanguard ship. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I'm kind of looking at these questions for the first time now. Well, not necessarily, because, you know, I've seen this image posted around Twitter and everything, and I've seen a few answers and stuff, so I've seen a couple of the questions, but I'm kind of going in somewhat blind, not knowing all of the questions, and most importantly, not preparing any answers. I thought it'd be more fun to kind of see me, like, to see what I come up with on the spot, rather than scripted out beforehand or anything, you know? So, favorite Vanguard ship? That's a difficult one, because I'm not really much of a shipper, to be honest. I guess if forced at gunpoint... No, gunpoint's a bit too heavy. I guess if you made me answer, the first one that comes to head is Kumi and Chrono in Vanguard G. Specifically G next. I refuse to elaborate because I don't even know if I have anything to elaborate with. That's just the first one that came to my head, so we're gonna go with it. Favorite opponent? What, just to play against? Okay, we're just name dropping real people. I'm just gonna say my sister because I've been playing with her a lot, teaching her how to play. It's been fun. There we go. Favorite Vanguard YouTubers? That's an interesting one. Because if you couldn't tell, I watch quite a few. Because, you know, that's the thing, is for some people it's like, you know, these are people I look up to and watch all the time. A lot of the time, though, favorite, or favorite, as it's spelled, they're my peers, you know, like, they're people I'm mutuals with on Twitter and interact with often. So, kind of just picking like one or two and rolling with that feels a bit unfair. So I'm just going to name some names and see which ones we get, basically. If I don't name you, don't feel bad about it. I probably watch you as well. So, Charles Dinkles, 50 cards. Obviously got to mention Different Fight. I loved that time when he streamed my video essay. Thank you very much for that, if you're watching. Let's see, what other stuff have we got? Those are the kind of the three that come off of... Speed Robo doesn't really make Vanguard videos much anymore, but still love his stuff anyway. Go and watch his stuff. Let's see what other stuff we've got. I'm just going to move on, honestly. I've named some names. Like I said, I could be here all day and name literally every Vanguard YouTuber, but that would be kind of boring. Favorite Vanguard memory? Huh. That's an interesting one. Favorite Vanguard memory? So many is the thing that, again, it's difficult to choose one. Because, I mean, you know, I've been into Vanguard for a while, both the anime and the card game, and a lot has happened since being into it, so it's kind of difficult to pinpoint that down. So, honestly, I'm gonna say the time Different Fight streamed my video essay about Vanguard, so it is still a Vanguard memory. That was fun. That was kind of a big moment to me. So there we go. Let's see. What else do you play? Everything. Like, I haven't been diagnosed, but I wouldn't be surprised if I've got ADHD with the amount of stuff I do. I was gonna swear that. With the amount of stuff I do. I play and collect Pokemon cards. I think of Yu-Gi-Oh! As, like, the old ex-girlfriend that's really tempting to go back to, but I know I shouldn't. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! To me. You know, it's like the ex-girlfriend that shows up in your life and is like, hey, remember when we used to have fun together all the time? Wasn't it like the best? And I'm like, yeah, oh, I want to so badly, but I can't. I can't do that to myself again. I don't play Magic, but I would love to give it a shot at some point. It looks like an interesting game to me. But that's the thing, I'm kind of up for playing a bit of everything. Yeah. Have you ever called Final Turn? I don't know, actually. Probably as a joke. Because that's the thing, I feel like when anyone calls Final Turn in real life, they're probably doing it, like, kind of tongue-in-cheek, like, as a joke sort of thing. So my answer is probably, and if so, it was kind of like as a joke, you know? I certainly have Vanguard 0, but I don't know if Vanguard 0 counts. Which Vanguard unit would you want to be? Huh. I would want to be the Otter from Great Nature. Just because he has achieved the maximum amount of vibes. Which Vanguard unit... Oh wait, I'm reading that again. Which Vanguard unit would you want to hook up with? I don't know, take me out to dinner first, Jesus Christ. I'm not a slut. Favorite Vanguard anime season? It is G Next. Boom, easy. If you want to know why, I made a giant, like, 30-minute video essay about Vanguard G Next as well. So that's some kind of other background watching you can do. You can watch my video essay about Vanguard G Next and my video essay about Vanguard overdress. They're both good. And do you have a local card shop? Wow, I blitzed through those questions faster than I thought I would, huh? Probably because I refused to elaborate on most of them. That would be why. Local card shop. I do. It's very good. I don't know if I want to name it, because I don't know if I want to dox myself. I guess I can say it's called Unified Cards. And, like, if you really wanted to dox me, you could probably find out which town that shop is in with enough research. But it's called Unified Cards. It's a really nice little shop. It does carry Vanguard product. It mainly focuses on Pokemon product. It's got quite a lot of that stuff. It was the only shop in the universe to actually have Pokemon celebrations in stock. And it also has an absolute billion Vanguard overdress start decks, as well as quite a few packs and stuff. So there's that. I may leave if I remember to, I might leave a link in the description to them, because they're a UK-based store, and they always price everything at, like, the suggested retail price, which means they're not gonna scam you or anything. So if you're in the UK and you want some fairly cheap Vanguard cards, I'll put a link in the description and you can order them there, and they can just kind of figure out why on earth they just got a massive spike in Vanguard sales online out of nowhere. But yeah, no, that's basically it, though. That's all I really have to say. I guess before I end things, I will once again acknowledge channel's different. Got another branding change. Not gonna really go too far into that. Not yet, anyway. And of course, yes, the hiatus with the no more episode reviews and stuff. Well, I don't want to say no more episode reviews, because I do want to bring them back. I just haven't really had much motivation. Basically, without going too deep into it, because I know it's frowned upon to be actually sincere and genuine on YouTube. But basically, I just am self-conscious. I make these videos and then I watch them back and I go, these aren't very good. That's genuinely the reason for not many videos recently, is because I'm just like, I think I can do better than this, but I don't know how. And so I just kind of sit there and procrastinate instead of actually making videos. And that's the sincerity gone for like 2 seconds. That's the most like sincerity you'll see in a YouTube video all day, probably. But yeah, no, that's it. I had fun doing this video. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this, maybe just a more generic Q&A where you guys can give the questions next time or something like that. And I will see if I can bring back the episode reviews at some point soon. I would give you my opinion on the episodes that have aired since the last one, but I haven't watched them. I'm not joking, I haven't watched them. I've seen some Twitter posts implying that I would like them, but I genuinely haven't even watched them. So yeah, other than that, I guess I'll see you later. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that other great stuff to see more Vanguard videos like this one at some point in the future when I can be bothered to upload them. I'm nothing if not inconsistent. And that's basically it for now. I'll see you later. Remember, for every statement there's an asterisk, and see ya.